We begin with an early edition of KCAL News at 8 alongside Juan Fernandez and Mike Rogers at the desk and Desmond Shaw live in SkyCal. Good evening, everyone. I'm Susie Suh. We are following a pursuit right now. The CHP in pursuit of a DUI suspect.
That's right. This is near the Topanga Plaza right now. Let's go up to Desmond Shaw up in SkyCal for the very latest. Des?
Going to go under us northbound. Yeah, so here we go. It is this red Ford Fusion here that the authorities have had some trouble keeping tabs on here. They had actually lost it from the air, but they just reacquired it, like you said, not too far away from the village at Topanga. We're northbound on Owens Mount. Definitely some dangerous driving here. You see speeds of up to about 60 miles an hour here. So Owens Mount and Victory, just about a mile to the west of that very busy mall. You know, people getting off, maybe going out to get a bite to eat or go shopping. And so you've got this guy out here driving like this. Suspected DUI. It's with CHP West Valley, though, which is kind of interesting. So maybe this started on the 101 freeway and came here. They have two helicopters overhead from the LA County Sheriff's deputies as well as LAPD blasting right through that red light. So Victory and Canoga right there. So definitely have some dangerous driving. And I mean, it almost makes me wonder if they're going to continue this because, again, the want was suspected DUI. We haven't heard anything about it being a stolen vehicle or anything violent like that. And now it might be kind of playing that balancing act. Do we really want to, risk everyone with the way that this guy is flying down the street now on the wrong side of the road like a missile, or do we let this one go? We'll see if the authorities decide to continue with this as we are blasting along still westbound on Victory now through DeSoto, guys.
Oh, Mike Rogers at the desk now. Mike, you know, as Desmond was talking about, this is a delicate balance because on one hand, we have CHP who wants to get this person because they are posing a danger as a DUI suspect. But at the same time, this could be dangerous for their officers to continue.
Yeah, absolutely. And, you know, we always weigh the balance even on the broadcast side of whether or not we should come on the air with a pursuit. And I can tell you when we made the decision to go, seconds, before we came on the air, CHP was aggressively behind him. And they had been approved to do a pit maneuver if those speeds warranted. Now, from Desmond's shot, we can clearly see that those units have kind of pulled back a little bit. CHP not always loving chasing people on surface streets and not on the freeway. And again, because of the want is the DUI here. That's kind of why they've made that decision. This person has really run the gamut. As you see this dangerous move blowing through the red light there and through the intersection, this person has really run the gamut of how they've been driving. They've been driving very calm, 30 miles an hour, so much so that CHP thought they were going to be able to do a pit maneuver. And then all of a sudden, he blasts up to 70 miles an hour like we're seeing right now and really pushes through. So you've got the LA County Sheriff's airship that is overhead that is monitoring this, which is kind of what the sergeant over at West Valley Station wanted to do. But then those units on the ground actually found it before the helicopter did, which is what allowed those ground units to reinitiate that pursuit, get back into it. And like I said, as we were making the decision to come on the air and seconds before we did, those units, and there you see one right there. Okay, so now we're back right behind it. I know it's hard to see with the trees there, but there are those units right there in pursuit, lights and sirens right behind him. So this guy knows he is being chased. I will not give away too much, but we also know that the registered owner of this car, which we don't know if it's the person behind the wheel, but we know the registered owner of this car is from this area. That car is registered to a home that is in this area. So that person
that we are in right now.
So quick left-hand turn there, Mike.
Back on the freeway now.
All right, back on the freeway, and he just blew by Pierce College not too long ago there at high rates of speed. And again, the danger here, we're talking about very fast driving and the possibility that the person behind the wheel is drunk or impaired somehow, going at very high speeds. Now, back on the freeway, Mike, is this a good or a bad thing? I'm guessing less people out and about, obviously, right?
Yeah, less people, pedestrians. I mean, they were starting to get nervous about pedestrians that were on the road, but this also does take some options off the table. They wanted to do spike strips at one point. That makes it much harder to do on a freeway, a 5-6 lane freeway at over 100 miles an hour now. Pit maneuvers are certainly not going to happen here on the freeway. But CHP is going to be more comfortable chasing it on a freeway because that is generally their jurisdiction, and there's less risk really to pedestrians and to running red lights and all of those things that you would see on surface streets.
Yeah, it looks like they have their left blinker on and they just keep going at full speed. We were looking at 110 miles per hour just a second ago on this freeway here. And again, we're chasing a DUI suspect, a possible DUI suspect, the CHP in pursuit of this person. And we don't know exactly how many people are inside this car either. They could be posing a danger to someone else too, Mike.
Yeah, we believe that there's only one person inside. It sounds like those units at some point, because he was doing so many circles, were able to get a look inside the car, and they described it as a one male driver that was inside of the car. But, you know, to your point, the DUI suspect, and to Desmond's point, we haven't heard anything about it being stolen. So they know who the registered registered owner is of this vehicle, which 9 times out of 10 is the person behind the wheel. Certainly they don't know definitively that it is. But their CHP is interested in chasing this, and they have been.
And you were telling us, Mike, that for a while they had pulled back, right, because of the dangerous speeds, and now they've re-engaged, right?
Right. So they pulled back. There was a bit of something that happened. So they pulled back at the sergeant's request. The sergeant of West Valley said, "This is getting too dangerous. He's going too fast. Let's start to pull off." So they did. The airship, the sheriff's helicopter, and LAPD was there too. But those 2 helicopters were about 2 or 3 minutes away from being overhead when that happened. They even asked the sergeant, "Can we wait until we get there before you pull off?" Sergeant said, "No, back off." So then everybody lost him for a second. And then those ground units that were in the area spotted him again, and they started chasing him again.
I see. And why would they continue to do so? You know, that's my question. If this person continues to drive erratically like this, fast like this.
Right. I mean, there's always the whole purpose of tracking is to see if the person will calm down and back off. And when that doesn't work, regardless of if you're behind them or not, sometimes the sergeants or the watch commanders say, "Look, we made the effort. We pulled back. He didn't know we were behind him. He was still driving the way he was. Now, at least if we are there, we can put out a siren, we can put lights, we can maybe give the public, especially now that we're back on surface streets, some warning that this guy is coming if we're closer behind him." So it's all tactical and it's all in the moment decisions that are being made. But generally, the thought process behind tracking is to give this guy some space and see if he slows down. And if he doesn't, and it's not working, then they can make the decision, which it looks like they have, to go back into full-blown pursuit.
And this driver here getting off the 101 freeway at Balboa, just crossing Moorpark Street there in Encino, heading into some heavier traffic. Look at that, making a right-hand turn there, and the CHP right behind him there. And again, picking up speeds. Mike, you were mentioning the car is registered to someone in this area. So he was on surface streets, back on the freeway, headed southbound.
Right.
Now he's back on surface streets again. So and all things are starting to line up that this is somebody who lives in the area.
Right. And now we're going, we came, the 101 freeway is weird right there. So we went south / eastbound on the 101. Now we're going back westbound. So even though we went on the freeway, we're now going back into the direction of where we came from.
All right. You're watching live breaking news here on KCAL, an early edition of KCAL News at 8. A DUI suspect being pursued by the CHP right now on surface streets in the valley. And this is where we have been for maybe 15 minutes or so now. And we do believe possibly that this person who owns this car, the person who actually the car is registered to, does live in the valley. So it could be this person. We have no idea, but it could be that this car is stolen, but we have no information that this car is stolen at this point. So could they be going home right now, Juan? Could they be going to a friend's house who's also nearby in the valley? They obviously know the area if it is in fact.
And we've seen it all before too, Susie. And here he is blowing over speed bumps at high rates of speed as well. Let's go back up to Desmond Shaw and SkyCal. Des, give us an idea how things look ahead of this car here.
Well, I mean, we're over by another park. We're not too far from the school, but a flood basin. There's somebody right there who's out running around, and they may have unintentionally slowed down CHP a little bit on this one. I'm honestly surprised that CHP is still continuing this pursuit. You saw wrong way driving there, blasting through that stop sign, not even slowing down. We were over by the Encino Commons, another very busy area. I really got nervous when we were on Ventura Boulevard because that's where a lot of people are out right now, in cars and out walking around. And so we're over by, I know, a bunch of baseball fields right now. Okay, we're kind of paralleling the Orange Line busway. So this is that section where Luis kind of dead ends at the LA River, going to head over towards White Oak, I believe. But let's just widen out and see if they are on this, if they have kind of, no, they're still right there. I mean, we saw when he got off the freeway, and he nearly lost control there getting off of Balboa, making a southbound turn now into this neighborhood. Frankly, I just wish that the suspect would just get out and run at this point, because we are just seeing so much danger to everyone at this time. So, but they almost lost control getting off the freeway. And you saw CHP, they were right on their bumper when they got off. It looked like they were going to try to make an opportunity to pit him there, but they weren't able to. The suspect sped away, and you see, I mean, CHP definitely aggressive on this one. So White Oak headed up towards Victory, so still kind of on the periphery of the Sepulveda flood basin. Again, big recreational area out here, the end of a nice summer day. A lot of people out walking around. You saw that close call with that pedestrian that was out there, zigging and zagging all over the place, not hesitating to get on the wrong side of the road at times. Just insane chance taking by this driver right now. So we're coming up to Victory. Let's see what they do at this busy intersection as people get out of the way. It's kind of boxed in a little bit right here. He's going to go right through and make that right turn. And that person, you know, doing what they should do to yield towards CHP, but inadvertently kind of giving this person space as they're eastbound on Victory. They'll probably go, see, we're making a little maneuver here with Sky Cow. We're also dealing with Van Nuys airspace up here, so shout out to my pilot, Jeff, who's doing a bang-up job trying to, whoa, really close.
Goodness.
Oh, he nearly, look at that, he's going to lose it. Really close to losing. He's driving this car like a Ferrari, but this is just a basic economy car, a Ford Fusion, I believe, or a Focus. But look at CHP, they are right on this one as we are flying along southbound on Victory Boulevard again right now. I see the sheriff's helicopter overhead on this one. But boy, CHP really, really wanting this. Sometimes, you know, they can just be the most aggressive agency. They do not like this kind of recalcitrance from suspects as we go right through. I can't believe this. We're up to 90 miles an hour on Victory. This is not going to end well at all if this continues. And again, right on the edge of the Sepulveda flood basin, that's the bike lane right there by the Orange Line busway. So this is just incredibly nerve-wracking right now in Van Nuys, guys.
Oh my goodness, I mean, just definitely holding our breath every time this person goes through an intersection and blows through a red light, and we have seen a lot of it. A lot of blowing through red lights and a lot of aggressive driving. The CHP, I mean, it looks like they want to go for a pit right now, Desmond.
Yeah, they do, but, you know, they're definitely not going to do it at this speed. I think they're just maybe waiting to see if this suspect makes a mistake or something where they get a chance. Unfortunately, we have to kind of move out of the way right now. We were not only dealing with Van Nuys, but we were right on the final approach for Burbank Airport, so we're going to have to kind of swing around. We might have some departures coming out of Van Nuys, so we are flying along towards the 405 on Victory. I know that. We're going to try to pick it up here on the other side. I think Van Nuys Airport, not exactly very happy with all of the helicopter traffic in their airspace right now. You got us up high, two law enforcement helicopters down low as well. And okay, we're getting on the freeway. So okay, southbound 405. Okay, it should be probably south 405 from Victory, right? Yeah. Give us 1 second here. Well, let me just throw it back to you guys here. We're going to require this.
Sounds good, Desmond. While you continue to look for this pursuit, let's go back to Mike Rogers on the desk here. Mike, here's the pursuit once again. Desmond's got it right in the center of the camera.
Yeah, we got lucky there. Desmond and Jeff are doing a great job. There's a lot of traffic in and out of Van Nuys and Burbank. So we got lucky in the sense that this guy's coming south 405 towards the 101, which is where I don't think we were here before. We were on the 101, but not this far to the east. So we'll see what his move is. I know CHP is already notifying the West LA units because once we get into the Sepulveda Pass, that will be their area to deal with. And I don't know, Des, if you're with us, if there's any marine layers that are going to cause problems for law enforcement helicopters that are trying to get with it at all. Can you see ahead of you at all?
I'm just kind of glancing over the pass. I can see some buildings down there, kind of like I can see Century City. So I don't think that's going to be a problem. I can't quite see into Santa Monica, but we are sticking with the 405. And look at these speeds. I mean, over 100 miles an hour on the most congested freeway in America, in the carpool lane, out of the carpool lane. Even at this time of the evening, I mean, we're definitely, not at heavy traffic time, but, going up the Sepulveda Pass, you can have traffic at any time, just people slowing down. Okay, off the freeway again, not really happy with this off at Valley Vista, so we're going to be off of, getting into this residential. Did this suspect nope, did they just crash? I think they just,
he crashed.
Oh my gosh, they just lost it. Okay, yeah, he crashed. Crashed right here.
Wow.
Right behind that tree. Wow, look at that. I mean, I'm just glad this is over. Hopefully there was nobody inside that Tesla. Right through the planter right there. And this suspect could be injured. I mean, airbags deployed. This guy just barely even slowed down as they were taking it. So now CHP coming in, desperately trying to get to the suspect. They need to make sure that, that they're conscious and breathing. And we know how CHP operates. They do not mess around. They just come right up and yank you out of the vehicle. And it looks like that's what they're going to do right now. The suspect might be trapped. Yeah, they are yanking him out, and there they are on the ground. Boy, you can tell they are just furious with how all of this has gone. The three officers getting him into custody there. Another perfectly placed tree as we were coming around there off of Valley Vista there and the 405. And if you've ever taken, we were wondering if the suspect knew what they were doing. I don't think they had any idea because if you live in the valley and you take this off ramp, then you cannot take that ramp at that kind of speed. You come right around and there's a stop sign right there, and he just went right through into that Tesla, into that planter. maybe just some superficial damage to that car. But this suspect in custody, they could be in some pain right now as well.
And Desmond, on the other side of that hedge there, it's somebody's driveway, right?
Yes, yeah, someone's driveway, someone's, it looks like a Tesla right there.
Yeah.
I mean, boy, I'm really glad that wall was there and that car. I mean, it could have just continued right into that home if that car wasn't parked there. So, unfortunate from an insurance perspective, but, maybe serendipitous in the long run as we see this, DUI suspect. They are conscious, they are upright, they are in handcuffs. And, boy, what a nerve-wracking pursuit that was.
I mean,
But just really glad it's over and one person in custody and no serious injuries, amazingly.
Yeah, it really was. I mean, just to recap what Desmond was just referring to, what a crazy pursuit this was, not only going at high rates of speed on surface streets through the valley, getting off and on the freeway at multiple times, and then driving on these shoulders and trying to get on the other side of the traffic even, the wrong side of the traffic. And as we see here, getting off the freeway, getting back on, and this was the pattern. And at one point, I don't know if we can show that, but there was a pedestrian at a pedestrian crosswalk that they barely missed, Mike. I mean, it was just inches.
It was, and I mean, just the driving behavior, I mean, the want is DUI, but the driving behavior was so erratic and so all over the place. I mean, there were times where we were 30 miles an hour following normal street speeds. And then all of a sudden we're up over 100 in the valley on surface streets. And then you have this behavior too. So really indicative of a DUI driver, an alleged DUI driver, the way this guy was going. And there's that where you were just talking about right there, Susie, where you had that person running across the intersection there and that car coming really close to it. More close calls here as he was squeezing through this traffic on White Oak and Victory. Just some really, really wild driving throughout the course of this.
And yeah, here we're going to see in just a few seconds here how this all came to an end, as Desmond was saying, zigzagging, almost losing control, fishtailing there in the center divider, those suicide lanes as they're often referred to. And once he got off the freeway, that is when he was at such high rates of speed that he smashed right into that, basically a small retaining wall protecting the driveway of a home. Right now, he is not at all being combative. As you see there, he's in handcuffs. And it looks like the owner of that Tesla, or maybe not, maybe the CHP, they're just trying to get around it. Just look at the damage and the amount of brickwork that's landed on top of this Tesla.
Yeah, no kidding. I mean, the way that this came to an end, and certainly the CHP had their work cut out for them. They really wanted to get this guy, though. Obviously, a DUI suspect posing a big danger to the public. This is not just someone who's only driving fast, but also possibly under intoxication. This is where we're talking about when this pursuit comes to an end, through that intersection and boom, right there into that wall. Does not make a turn left or right and crashes right into the wall. And the CHP wasting no time running to that vehicle, as Desmond is saying. They do not mess around. They go right to that car. No body shields, anything. This person could have been armed for all we know.
Yeah. And look at this, Susie. The CHP officers, like there's that street sign right there. They are just muscling their way into the area there. They want to be able to see, look, they're using their legs, using just their brute strength, trying to get to the driver, not only because he's in danger, but he also may be in medical, some sort of medical aid, right?
Sure, it's true. Well, this is wrapping up here in the Valley. A DUI suspect under arrest tonight after crashing into a retaining wall in a neighborhood. The CHP now having him under arrest.